again, this is John Wild, here to give you another look at vintage action figures. And this time, we're going to be looking at World Wrestling Federation action figures by Hasbro, Series 3 and Series 4. If you haven't yet watched my introduction video to World Wrestling Federation action figures by Hasbro, I would encourage you to do this so you can get an overview of this classic toy line. Series 3 and 4 came out in 1993 and included 22 figures. These series gave us more variety of WWF wrestlers. Hulk Hogan, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, Ultimate Warrior, and Macho Man all received new sculpts in this line. Now, let's take a look at each of these figures individually. This guy is Greg the Hammer Valentine. We'll get a closer look at him. And believe it or not, sculpted on the front of his trunks, and it's probably difficult for you to see, but it does say Greg there. He's got a, it looks like a baseball ankle guard, catcher's guard on his one leg, and he's got a wrestling boot on the other. On the back of the figure, it actually says the Hammer on the back of his trunks. Nice detail. And his action feature was the Hammer Slammer. Hold on, and you're going to take the fist, pull it back, and he's going to swing forward. Deliver a punch. So this figure is Earthquake, and we know he's Earthquake because it says Earthquake right there on his wrestling trunks. He had a seismic detail going across his wrestling trunks, and I was always kind of impressed that this guy had really fancy wrestling trunks. It's a face sculpt of a face only a mother could love. He had a tiger tattoo on one of his arms. And we'll take a look at the detail on the boots and the back of the figure. And unique to this figure, and there may have been a couple other ones, but his legs moved independently, and I believe that was because his finishing move, which was called the Aftershock, involved him sitting on other wrestlers. So to perform this move, I believe you would hold the figure like that, raise the arms up, arms go down, and he would land on them, crushing them. This guy here is called Typhoon because it says Typhoon right there on his belly. Again, these between him and Earthquake, they really had very detailed trunks back in the day. So, and before he was called Typhoon, he was called Tugboat. And there's rumors in the collecting universe that there was a Tugboat figure that was originally supposed to be released, but because he turned heel and turned into Typhoon, there may be Tugboat figures out there in the wild. Now, I have never seen one, and I'm not too sure whether they exist, but I've heard that. So take a look at the rest of the details of the figure. And again, like Earthquake, both his legs could move out. And again, because his finishing move was very, very similar to that of Earthquake, his was called the Tidal Wave. And again, it was him. He'd raise the arms up, the arms come down, he'd sit on the figure, the other wrestler, and crush him. Whatever. Okay, maggots. Well, we know who this guy is. This is Sergeant Slaughter, and he's seen better days. But he's here, and he's with us, and we'll take a look at him. He's got a sergeant detail on his hat. He's got a really nice face sculpt. He's wearing a black tank top. He's got some details on wristbands. He's got some pouches around his belt. He's got camouflage pants on with really nice folds and details into them. And these Hasbro figures definitely had a lot more in the sculpting than the LJN figures. Combat boots. Take a look at the back of the figure. And his action feature was the Sergeant Salute. That was a Sergeant Salute there. So, that was Sergeant Slaughter. Let's get physical. No, this is the Texas Tornado, not Olivia Newton-John. That headband always gets me. Kerry Von Erich, I believe, is who his real name is, or was. Really nice sculpting on the body. He was a very physical man back in the day, and he's got these details on the boots. Good sculpt all the way back around. And his action feature was called the Texas Twister, and to accomplish this, you would take the figure and wind him around one time, and then let go. And that was the Texas Twister, which was pretty cool feature. Bong, bong. Yep, it's the Undertaker. So this is the old school Undertaker. He's got his red hair and he's wearing his black hat. He's got the eyeshadow on and he's wearing his gray gloves, which were kind of signature back then. He's got his black Undertaker suit on with the tarred off sleeves. He's got trunks on, knee pads, and he's got spats, which is what every Undertaker wears is spats. So good detail on the back of the things that show off the elastic for the knee pads. Kind of a neat feature, and he's even got some detail running across the back of the shirt there. And his action feature was called the Tombstone Tackle. So to accomplish this, you would pull back on the figure like that and let go. And he would either clothesline or punch, depending on which way you had the arm articulated. Okay, what do I gotta say? This is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat in his second incarnation at the WWF in his full dragon regalia. He's got wristbands on with Batman details on it. He's wearing a dragon headpiece. He's got on some chest armor with some nice chrome detail accents onto it. Dragon scale trunks. And he's got wrestling boots with a little bit of dragon accents on the back of them. Again, this is another one of the Hunchback figures, and he is wearing a tiara. So his action feature is the Steamboat Springer, not the Jerry Springer, but the Steamboat Springer. And to accomplish this, again, you push down on the hunch on the back, you would expose the neck piece, and yes. That's what he would do. All right, so here we go. We got Bret the Hitman Hart. And here he is. We'll get a closer look at him. He's got his signature sunglasses on, and he's got his tank top. And I got another figure here that I can show off that detail. He had a heart on his chest. This figure's a little bit worse for the wear for the other one, but the action feature works better on this one. He's got some hearts on his trunks. He's wearing pink, of course, because that was, he could get away with that. This guy was so damn tough. He's got star details on the boots. Again, kind of a spat style, but nice detail on this figure. The head's kind of molded really in it. It's kind of almost like a melty look, but it's all right. It works for him. And his action feature was called the Heart Attack, of course. And you would pull the figure's arm down and he would punch. So this is the British Bulldog, and he's a relative of Bret the Hitman Hart's. And he's got a nice head sculpt. He's got a dreadlock detail into his hair because that's the way he wore it back then. He's no longer with us now. He's got good musculature in the torso. He's got a Union Jack detail on his wristbands on both sides. He's wearing white trunks. He's got a Union Jack on both of his knee pads. He's got red, white, and blue detailing on the boots. And on the butt of the figure, of course, what else would he have but another Union Jack? And his action feature was called the Bulldog Bash. And the way you did that was you would hold the feet of the figure and pull back on the arms, and you could throw another action figure. Oh yeah! Snap into a Slim Jim. Yep. It's Macho Man Randy Savage in his flamboyant outfit. So he's got his oh yeah on his lapel there. Got detail on the arms, which were kind of tassels, but they're kind of sculpted in there. He's got actually some finger tape on, and he missed a little bit of paint there, but he's got some tape on his hands, and he's got tape on that hand. He's wearing a nice cowboy hat with some, I don't know what that's some Nickelodeon green slime on it. No, okay, no, that's not a green slime. That's a bandana. On the back it says Macho Man, ooh yeah. And again, it's another one of these hunchback figures. He's got pink trunks on with green accent. He's got some knee pads on, and he's got yellow laces with white boots. Alright, well, guess we got to do this again. So his action feature was called the Savage Slam. You're gonna want to have both his arms up for this. You're gonna press down on the chest of the figure, move your other hand out of the way. Off the table he goes. So here we have the Road Warriors. Oh no, they were called the Legion of Doom. Yeah, the Legion of Doom. We have Hawk on this side. We have Animal on this side. So let's take a look at Hawk first. He's got a face paint on, and he has a mohawk. He's wearing shoulder pads that have football shoulder pads that have these studs coming on them. And I apologize that some of those are missing, but the toy is very old. It does have really, really nice detail for the time. It's got a little bit of a muffin top going on, but that's cool. He's got trunks and knee pads, and he's wearing red boots that have some black details on it. Okay, so let's take a look at Animal now. Now, Animal, he's got face paint, and he's got an expression. He's definitely not happy. He has what is called a reverse mohawk, which to men my age is also known as male pattern baldness. He is also wearing the shoulder pads with the knobs on them. Again, very nice detail going on. His muffin top is a little bit more accentuated because of the action feature. Again, he's one of the hunchback figures. He's got red piping on the trunks and detailing on the boots. We'll put him off to the side here for a second, and we'll take a look at Hawk again. And his attack is called the Hawk attack. So you're going to raise his hands up, and he's going to go forward. Hawk attack. Lay him off to the side and bring Animal back. Again, we've seen this action feature numerous times in this video, but we'll do it one more time. To activate the action feature, you're going to put your hand onto his hunchback and push down. Remove your hand and then carefully let your finger off, and he jumps up in the air and again falls off the table. But that's the way it went back then.
I would like to thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe to catch my latest uploads. And until next time, ooh yeah! Oh, I hurt my neck.
And he fell over now. And he fell over again. Stop.